everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Blair. Today we are doing another What's New Wednesday video. If you've never seen these videos before, every Wednesday I post a video reviewing a new beauty product, and today, so excited, we are reviewing the new Colourpop Pretty Fresh line. I have the tinted moisturizer, the setting spray, the primer, and the sponge. So we are going to do a whole review of this today. This is not a first impression. I have tried these a few times and I've had a few days to kind of formulate an opinion. So I'm excited to try these on camera for you so you can see and decide if you might be interested in this. So I hope you enjoy this. If you do, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe before you leave. I post new videos every Wednesday and Friday. Thank you so much for being here, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So this is the Pretty Fresh, the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. So this came out a week or two ago and there's been a lot of hype, a lot of talk about this product. I actually ordered it from Colourpop the first day it came out, right when it came out, and it took so long to get here. I really wanted to get this video up before now, but it is here, and this is what the packaging looks like. And I also got the kit that you can get that has the sponge, the primer, and the setting spray. First, we're gonna apply a little bit of the primer. So this is a hydrating hyaluronic acid primer. Here it is. It does have a smell, a coconut smell, but to me it's not super overpowering. It's just a light coconut scent. And then it does have kind of a, probably won't be able to tell, but it's a light kind of tangerine color, but it just feels like a really light lotion. And the primer is $12 by itself, or if you get the kit with the primer, the spray, and the sponge, the whole kit is $25. So that's definitely the better deal if you're wanting to try the whole line. I think it is out of stock right now, but I'm sure it's gonna come back in stock. So yeah, this is a very hydrating, dewy looking primer, but it does feel really nice on your skin. So if you have dry skin, you would probably really love this. It does have a little bit of the scent like I was saying, but to me it's not anything overpowering. So I'm kind of liking the primer, and I'm not a huge primer person. Okay, so we're gonna put on the tinted moisturizer now. This is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. I got mine in the shade Light 6W. There are only two undertones in this foundation, neutral and warm. So if you are a cooler undertone, I would go with a neutral shade. It is $14 and it comes in 24 shades. And it has hyaluronic acid, obviously, and coconut water. It's oil-free, gluten-free, paraben-free, and vegan, which is really great. Here's what the packaging looks like. It is a squeezy tube and has a pump. I don't mind that. I actually kind of like a squeezy tube with a pump. Because the coverage on this is so sheer, I personally still like to apply it with a brush and then go back over it with their sponge. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I know some people have been using their hands. I don't really use my hands for anything, especially not foundation, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go in with my brush. You could definitely use just the sponge. I have tried that. You get a lot less coverage from it, in my opinion. So if you want super sheer coverage, use a sponge, any beauty sponge. If not, I would go in with a brush first. Here is one pump. It's pretty liquidy. this does not have SPF, so you definitely need to put on your SPF before applying this. I've never actually found a tinted moisturizer that I loved before, but I have to admit, when I applied this the first time, my initial reaction was that I did really like it. And for me, it's like any foundation really. If you want more coverage, you can go in with some concealer and, you know, add a little more coverage where you need it, but most people on an everyday basis don't need a full coverage foundation, unless that's just what they like and what they want to wear. But, you know, most people don't need that. And a lot of times people don't have time to sit and blend it out and, you know, make sure they have the exact right color match and all that. Sometimes it's just so much better to throw something like this on and then spot conceal with concealer, which is what I've been doing. I'll go over it now. And I do find that you can build this up slightly, but not a ton. So you can add a little bit more and get a little more coverage, but not a ton more. Okay, so that's one pump on my face. You can see it is super, super glowy looking. Skin looks very hydrated, which I do really like. You can still see my skin peeking through, but I mean, honestly, it's a tinted moisturizer, so that's how it's supposed to look. But if you hate sheer coverage, you're not gonna like this, unless you're gonna go in over it with a full coverage concealer or something like that. But if you hate sheer foundation, you're not gonna like this tinted moisturizer. I'm gonna take a tiny bit more on my sponge. And add it here. So the tinted moisturizer to me does not have a scent. I don't smell any coconut like I do in the primer, and the setting spray has a little bit of a coconut scent to me, but the moisturizer does not. So that's about as much coverage as you're gonna get from it, which on an everyday basis, I'm fine with. I think it looks really nice. It looks like skin. You look really moisturized, really healthy, and I think that's a good thing going into fall and winter, because that's when people have issues with dryness a lot of the time. Also, something I was going to mention, you get 1.45 fluid ounces in here, which I think is pretty good. I'm curious if any of you have tried this or you're planning to try this. I've seen pretty good reviews, mostly from what I've seen here on YouTube. So I'm curious if you have tried this or if you're interested in it. But this is what it looks like on me. I am gonna go in and do the rest of my makeup, and I'm just gonna do super, super light makeup, and I'll come back and we will use the setting spray and we'll talk about it a little bit more. I will also say that it is very tacky feeling, so it does not dry all the way down. So if you are gonna go in with powder products over this, you're gonna need to set it first for sure, or use like a cream bronzer, cream blush, cream products, because it definitely has a tacky feeling to it, so you're definitely gonna need to set it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and then we will come back and we'll talk a little bit more and we will try the setting spray. Okay, I just applied the rest of my makeup. This is what it looks like. This is super, super minimal. This is what I've been doing almost every day. Just when I'm gonna be home, not going anywhere, this is what I will do. And I've been loving it. So this tinted moisturizer, it reminds me, the finish at least, reminds me of my Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation, which actually just did a video last Wednesday about their new skin tint. Kind of similar to this, and I compared it to the Healthy Foundation, so I'll link that here if you have not seen that yet, so you can watch that. But that's what the finish of this reminds me of. But I have to say, on a daily basis, I gotta go with this. I mean, I think this is perfect everyday makeup. And I did, like I mentioned earlier, go back over some of my areas where I wanted a little bit more coverage and added a little concealer, and it totally helps. And that's all I did. I didn't apply any more of this. I applied a little bit of concealer like in the cheek area, and then that's it. I didn't apply it anywhere else. I did use cream bronzer and cream blush. I personally like how the cream products lay over this a little bit better than powder. When I've tried it with powder, I like it, but I do prefer it with cream products over it. If you're not into creams, you can definitely wear powder. Just make sure you set it really well. Those are my thoughts. So far, I'm loving this. The only thing that would make this better is if it had SPF in it, but I have SPF on underneath, and you shouldn't be relying on your makeup for your SPF anyway. So that's one thing I wish they would have done with this, but I like it. Other than that, I really do. I will definitely continue to wear this. Also, for me, this is super easy to apply. I think, like I've seen other people use their hands, I think that would work. You saw me use a brush. I have tried it with just a sponge. You can do that as well. Speaking of their sponge, I really do like this sponge. I don't think I mentioned earlier, the sponge is $7, the spray is $12, and the primer is $12. The kit of all three together is $25, so that's definitely a better deal. Best, kind of like getting the sponge for free. So I would definitely go on Colourpop and keep a watch on that, and when the kit comes back, if you're interested, I would get that. But I do like the sponge. It's very light, very airy feeling. It kind of reminds me of the Real Technique sponge. This one I do think is a little bit squishier and a little bit airier feeling. The Real Technique sponge is a little more dense feeling. This feels super nice. I really like it. The shape is, again, very similar to Real Techniques. Even the color is similar. So I really do like this. I think it's a really good option if you need a new sponge. If not, a regular beauty sponge that you already have will work great as well. Primer, like I said earlier, I'm not a huge primer person typically, but I do like how this is under this tinted moisturizer. I like that it gives my skin that glowy, dewy look. We all know, if you've seen my other videos, I love that look. I am not a matte person typically. I like dewy, hydrating finishes. So I have been liking this, and I like it paired together. So when I wear this, I will definitely continue to wear this with it. But you could absolutely wear this with a primer you already have. Now, let's try out the spray. So, guys, look at the mister. I know a lot of people have been saying this, and it's so true. Like, look at this mister. Look how fine that is. Like, this has to be one of the best misters I've ever seen. It kind of reminds me of my Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 spray. This one, though, the mister is better. It is so fine, but it evenly distributes the mist on your face, if that makes sense. Sometimes sprays can be very aggressive, and it feels like you've just splashed your face with water when you apply it. Not with this. You'll see. Look at this mister. Listen, if you don't get anything from this Colourpop launch, you should definitely consider the spray. Like this, I mean, this is just, it's hyaluronic acid setting mist, and this is awesome. I'm gonna spray again because, I mean, this is just, it does not taste good though. Really doesn't taste good, but it feels great. It does have a slight scent to it, very similar to the primer, but it's nothing that is super overpowering in my opinion. So that doesn't bother me, but definitely look into this. I'm pretty impressed with this. Honestly, if I run out, I'm definitely going to order another one of these because I love this. So that's my thoughts on that. Honestly, I'm very impressed with this whole launch. I don't think I said in the beginning, but I've actually never tried much from Colourpop. I think I only have 2 things from them, and they're both Super Shock cheek like highlighters. That's all I've ever had from them. I've never tried their eyeshadows, their lip stuff, nothing like that. So I did order some other Colourpop stuff when I ordered this, so I think I may do a full face of Colourpop next. If that's something you're interested in, let me know down in the comments that you'd be interested in seeing that. I will say, when I've worn this the last few days, it has lasted pretty well for a tinted moisturizer. Now, is it the most long-lasting product ever? No, but for a tinted moisturizer on me, it's lasted pretty well. So I will be back a little bit later today, and we will see how everything is wearing. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hi guys, it's been a few hours now, and I just wanted to do a check-in with you. It's been about 5 hours now. This is what the tinted moisturizer is looking like. It looks good to me. I've been impressed the last few days. I'm still impressed. I mean, it doesn't look any different than when I applied it 5 hours ago. It's very, very, very good in my opinion. This is a perfect everyday foundation. It evens out your skin just enough, and if you need more, you can just spot conceal. I think this is a perfect everyday for the average person on the go quick foundation. I was thinking earlier, this is also really easy to travel with because it's a pump and it has a lid here. Super good to travel, and I really love this. I really, really do. I'm pretty impressed with how it lasts. For a tinted moisturizer, most of the time those don't last a super long time, but as far as I can tell, this one really does. So I'm loving this so far. I'm gonna come back in like 2 or 3 hours and we'll see if it still looks the same, but as of right now, I think this is a really, really great product. Actually, I'm gonna spray myself again with this mist because I like it that much. I don't really need any of this, but you know. Telling you, this is the best mister I've ever seen on a setting mist, ever. So I am going to be using the heck out of this for sure. But I will see you guys in a little bit and we'll see how it's holding up. So far, so good for me. Hi guys, I just wanted to come back and do my final check-in with you. I'm in my car now. Obviously, I was just sitting here looking in my car mirror because I feel like your car is where you can really see with makeup whether it's good or bad, and this looks really good to me. I'm really impressed. I mean, I really, really love how this is looking, and it's been 8 hours now. I'm pretty impressed with this. Y'all have to let me know what you think, but for a tinted moisturizer and a little bit of concealer, I'm pretty impressed. Like I said, if you hate low coverage and you're worried about, you know, covering acne or redness or sunspots or anything like that, all you have to do is use concealer. Use a layer of the tinted moisturizer and just spot conceal with concealer where you need it, because most likely you don't need a ton of coverage all over your face. Like me, I don't need a ton of coverage anywhere except my cheek area, really. Other than that, I don't need hardly any coverage. So just use concealer where you need it, but I would highly recommend. I think it's a really great everyday foundation, really easy to use, easy to apply, and it looks really nice, and it's hydrating. So with winter or fall and then winter coming up, at least here in the South, if your skin tends to get a little bit dry, it might be good to have this with the hyaluronic acid. So I would definitely recommend checking this out, as well as the setting spray. The sponge and the primer I like, but the two things I'm most excited about are the tinted moisturizer and the setting spray. As you saw, I really love that. So I will definitely continue to use both of those. And I think I will be doing a full face of Colourpop in the next week or two, and I'll use these products some more and some more Colourpop stuff that I ordered as well. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe before you leave. I post new videos every Wednesday and Friday. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, simply be you, and I will see you next time. Bye.